Alex. Thank you, Bits Pilani, for having me here. But I'm a little confused today. I got a list of commandments from TEDx. Right, so do's and don'ts on what to say. I was like, I'm confused now. You want me to talk about myself or no? Because I brag. That's what I do. I'm a show off. I love bragging. In fact, I've blogged about my love for bragging, you know, and its virtues. I'm a show off. But today I will not brag, and I will be the most humble man in the universe. Okay? Don't worry. Anyway, coming to the topic, pursuit of happiness. Obviously, all the speakers till now have made it very clear that it's very subjective. Happiness could be a lot of things. For me, I would say it's the attempt to reach your potential. Okay? It could be in any field. But if you are realizing your potential, or if you're striving towards that goal, then that effort itself will give you happiness, right? So obviously, I'm not a corporate person. Those will follow, and they'll be extremely effective at communicating through PowerPoint slides. I'm not, so I'm not going to attempt that. But I've asked Shrey to put some PowerPoint slides just in case, so that I can appear like an expert. Pursuit of happiness. So I've put together some of my commandments, personal commandments. I don't have a 5-point agenda or step towards achieving happiness. And I'm not talking about achieving happiness. I'm going to talk about the pursuit of happiness. And I just have some life experiences, some personal insights that have helped me and will hopefully help you guys. Yeah? Do not believe. You know, the world's going to tell you it can't be done. The world's going to make it its mission to drill into you a self-image of mediocrity. The world is going to spout the virtues of the safe path, right? Ye mat karo yaar, ye sahi hai, wahan risk hai, ye mat karo. Do not believe. They're liars, they lie, they're cowards, they don't know their ass from their elbow. Do not believe. The world is full of people who said, you know, the 4-minute mile can't happen, the perfect 10 can't happen, the 9-second dash can't happen, the triple century can't happen. Well, they have happened. I have a interesting story, a favorite story of mine. Maybe you guys have heard it. I'm going to rush through it. You guys know about the world's biggest frog race. There was the world's biggest frog race, okay? And lots of sponsors and ESPN live coverage, and people from all around the world converge to see the world's biggest frog race. Frogs from all around the world are competing. So, very difficult race. Here's the racetrack. You have the start line, and then you have shattered glass. Then you have burning coal. Then you have, it's a story, it's not real, don't look shocked. Then you have barbed wire, okay? And then you have a tall tower, a smooth tall tower. So whichever frog reaches there first is the winner. So they're like, what is this? This is bullshit. Can't be done. This can't be done. And the race goes on, and obviously the frogs find it very difficult. And everybody's saying, you know, we told you, it can't be done, can't be done. It becomes a chant, it can't be done, it can't be done. And as in when frogs, you know, either collapse or burn or cut themselves or die or give up, they're like, we told you, it can't be done, it can't be done. But they realize one frog is just doing it, it keeps doing it, and in the end it reaches the top of that tower. It's bloodied, it's shredded, it's burnt, but it's there on top of the tower. They're like, man, we found the super frog. You know, it's special. Its DNA must have some special gene. You know, we can harness that and create superheroes, supermen. So they take the frog to the lab, they cut it open, and they do all the tests. You know what they find? That frog was deaf. Sad story, I know. But that's actually what it takes. I'll give you a few examples from my life. Roadies, a show that you guys are aware of. Obviously, it's the first reality show in the country. Before that, there was no reality show. There was no Indian Idol. Saregama is a talent show. Yeah? So there was nothing that could, okay, people won't come. Why will we, what are we telling them to do? Just roam around? What are we saying? No, people are not going to watch it, this, that, the other. Well, it's in the 10th season now. So then another show that I created was a show called Splitsvilla. Same things again. There was no romance reality genre in this country. Internationally, the category exists, but in India, there was no such thing. And I know this is not part of our culture. Yeah, this is not. People don't date on reality shows. People date on Facebook or telephone or whatever. Why are people going to watch it? People are not going to like it. I said that's the point. I don't want people to like it. I want people to hate it so much that they talk about it. They want to see what happens. Anyway, that show opened up a new category in Indian television. Lots of romance variety shows have happened after that. None of them successful. And as we speak, my team is shooting season 6 in Kerala. So it's again one more franchise that has happened in a new area that did not exist before it, and with people shouting in my ears saying it can't be done, it can't be done. Latest example is MasterChef India, another show that I do. Can't be done. In fact, the CEO of Star Network called me to his office before season 1. He's like, Rajiv, do you think it'll work? I said, yeah, I think it'll work. It can't work. So why? Because food is not a luxury in India. So I said, I don't get you. Our core TG, they work hard for simple food. You're insulting them by showing good food on television. Do our kitchens look like this? This is not India. You're alienating them. Mara channel doob jayega. Again, it's in the 3rd season. Monday to Friday prime time is doing very well. We're extending the franchise into junior. So it's a success story. Star Plus has not had any franchise after KBC that has seen a 3rd season. Says, hey, it can't be done, it can't be done. Well, we are doing it, shut up. Okay? I think all great men, myself included, oh, I bragged again, have within themselves some madness, some insanity, or a sense of self-delusion. They can fool themselves into not believing what they hear constantly. Yeah? And I think that's an important quality. Do not believe. Yeah? Now, make your struggles epic. If I talk about happiness, I don't think it's money alone or success alone or a good marriage alone, although together they can uh, contribute to a happiness. I think, again, it's your commitment to having the courage to face your demons and to overcome the problems that life throws your way. You know, by that logic, to live life to the fullest. And by that yardstick, I think the bigger your struggle, the bigger your payoff in happiness, right? So if and Sachin Tendulkar को बोला जाए कि यार I'll give you underhand bowling, will he be happy? He won't be. The bigger the challenge, the greater the success, the bigger the happiness that comes out of success. If I beat up a little kid, I won't feel strong, right? Unless that kid is really mean. uh, People every day in the workplace, you will see, struggle with a certain grade of problems. Okay, it'll be appraisals, it'll be increments, it'll be pay rise, it'll be deadlines, it'll be the next assignment. I think that's a low grade of problems. That's not a problem at all. That's existential. That's something that you do. You got to climb a higher mountain. You got to look for a bigger problem. And you can get beaten up in the meantime, but look for that. I've worked in the television industry for 17 years. And obviously, by dint of being in the industry for so long and having worked for so long, I've had my share of successes. And with it comes recognition, being a celebrated television professional, and a measure of fame with that. But you know what? I wasn't happy at all. I wasn't. It just felt like every year I'm doing the same. So as of 1st January 2012, I quit my job, I quit my company, I quit the industry, and I said I'm going to make a film. And I sat at home, and I realized that I had a divine epiphany. I had wisdom bestowed upon me, and I realized that I'm a crappy writer, that I don't know shit about writing a film. But now, अब तो पंगा ले लिया, नौकरी गई, अब करना यही करना है, right? So I trained myself, and I won't talk about that part of my struggle because तुम रो पड़ोगे, वो frog क्या था जो मेरी हालत हुई. But it's humiliating. But at the end of it, I have a workable, good script, you know, and that is a bigger problem that I'm facing, a bigger struggle that I've faced. It has inspired a lot of people, including my team, which is full of like these 20, 22-year-old kids saying, you know what, we really like it, sir. Even we want to make films. I said, then what's stopping you? पता नहीं आप काम दे रहे थे टीवी में हमने कर लिया. I said, don't do it. Figure out what you want. Figure out what you can't do, but you want to do, and get at it. So when your struggle is epic and you succeed, you inspire people. But there's also the possibility that you don't succeed, that you fail. That's okay, because I'd rather fail at greatness than succeed in mediocrity. And for your information, I failed at selling that film that I wrote. पैसे खत्म हो गए. I have a wife, I have a son. But you know what? You can change your definition of failure. Okay? If success and failure is defined by my effort or my lack of effort, then I have succeeded or failed, regardless of the outcome of that effort. In which case, my film, that script, the thing that I sat down to do, I gave it my 100%. I have it in my hands. It is being appreciated. I am successful, you know. And so failure is good. Failure is very, very good. Failure should not be the reason, or fear of failure should not be the reason why you don't do an epic struggle, because failure is crucial. It's crucial. You have to fail. Sometimes you have to fail, otherwise you cannot succeed. Um, Failure, see, success is a tricky mistress, and failure has always been a true friend to me. It has made me stronger, wiser. It has given me wisdom of what not to do when I attempt it again, you know. And it has opened new doors for me. Success has this tendency to trap you in one place because you're good at something, you know. I barely managed to pass my 12th class from DTEA, Senior Secondary School, government school. Barely managed. And I come from an educated family, so they put me in economics honors. Beta economist banega. I failed monumentally. In fact, I was so ashamed of that failure. I was so ashamed to have disappointed my family and not being good enough that I slit my wrists and almost died. So, but anyway, I survived that. Next year, I met a girl called Susan, who is now my wife and the mother of my child. She was my junior, so I failed. So she came to my batch. So I met her. And I failed again. So she became my senior. So I said, I can't study. Come on. I've given my gentleman shot. I'm out of it. I'm bouncing. I'll do something. At that time, media had happened. That's another story. But look at this. I almost ended my life because I did not fail in 12th. And my first failure gave me my wife and the mother of my child. My second failure gave me media and the fire to prove myself to succeed. Which is better now? I'm glad I failed. Otherwise, I'd be some economic. Maybe I'd be a chartered accountant. Maybe, you know, you wouldn't want me as a chartered accountant. Failure has always been very misunderstood. It's very nice. The thing is, I have another friend. who's a filmmaker, who's made a film, who did really as an average, now struggling with his second script. So every time I meet him, it's like, kya chal raha hai? I'm still collecting rejections. So he's happy about it. And that's a great attitude to have. Instead of thinking, no, yaar, I'm not pitching because they won't like the script, then they tell me I'm not good, maybe I'm no good, I don't know. He's saying, okay, fine, I'm collecting rejections and mera record chal raha hai abhi, daru. You know? That's a nice attitude to have. You have to expect and not fear failure. And you got to really uh, protect yourself from being overwhelmed or blindsided by failure. I'll tell you how to do it. Fake it till you make it. I'll tell you. Uh, when you have low self-esteem, you confuse happiness with acceptance of others, with validation of your peers. If other people say you're good, that becomes your source of self-esteem. And you don't realize it, but you started working for their approval and not for your potential, right? It's very, very important to have a high self-esteem. It's very difficult to get. For students, you're always being compared with somebody who's always more intelligent with you. He always scores better. Practical bhi acha karta hai. You'll never be the top. There's going to be only one top of the guy in this college, and he'll say somebody else in IIT is better than me. You know? So I understand that a high self-esteem, you got to do something big to feel good about yourself and get a high self-esteem. But don't wait to do that big thing to get that self-esteem. Fake it. Fake that self-esteem. Tell yourself you love yourself so many times that you start believing it. Okay? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It becomes an affirmation. And it will become your reality. Once you love yourself, you don't have to work for other people. I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is surely to try and please everybody. You know, I'm the prime example of not wanting to win a popularity contest, but I'm a success at something that I do. You don't need to worry about are you good enough or not. You will never be good enough if you look at it from a certain point of view, and you're always better than anybody if you say no. What you think will become. A wise man once said, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both right. Whatever you say, whatever you believe about yourself will become your reality. If you believe in, if you love yourself, then little failures will not be, ऐसा यार इसकी गलती होगी, उसकी गलती होगी. You'll not blame yourself. You'll never have a depressed person who is in love with himself. You know, hey man, how are you? Great, but I want to kill myself. You'll never have that. You won't be depressed. Depression is a waste of time. You won't be insecure. Uh, you won't be underconfident if you love yourself. But you will not love yourself if you are waiting for that big achievement that let everybody love me and then I will love me. No. Fake it till you make it. Get it? All right. This is one more thing that I follow. A lot of people, career people, especially men, women, tend to draw a lot of energy from their family. You know, men घुस जाते हैं काम पे. So work becomes their world, their universe, and every success, failure, or every little good thing, bad thing, somebody else gets a promotion, you get depressed. You know, so it's important to not focus entirely, exclusively on work. You got to build happiness centers elsewhere in your life, be it gaming, swimming, shooting, chess, running, movies, anything. anything that you're good at, you got to find that, you got to nurture that, you got to take time out for that, because that will give you self-esteem. Somewhere you're good at something. Your boss tells you, you know what, your presentations are not good enough. You say, yeah, meet me on PS3. I show you. Anything you're good at, something that gives you happiness outside work, and that happiness can only come from being good at something. Could be mixing music, it could be drag racing, anything. Find it, identify it, build it, nurture it, and make sure that your life is not unidimensional. I picked up, whenever I've really been stressed in life and my life has been really stressful, I've always picked up a new skill. Like I learned the guitar. I'm now learning coin magic tricks nowadays. So that makes me happy because I have a 7-year-old son. He really, his eyes light up when I do these things. That gives me happiness. Always do that. Yeah. I think there is one more thing. No, there's not. I'm done. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.